Cardinals. A breakdown for the
You're live.
53-yard score. 4 seconds left in the first half.
How about that? Great way to end the first half for the Arizona Cardinals. Of course, they go ahead and they beat the Chicago Bears. Joining us now, Frank Sanders. Frank, you still celebrating? I mean, 3 wins in a row. You're kind of, I'm sure, going to say, hey, I told you so, right? Is that what you're going to say to me?
Look, I'm as surprised as you are. 3 wins in a row, first place in the West. What I'm going to tell you is that we're going to the Super Bowl, Rock. That's what we're going, baby.
Let's pump those brakes.
Yeah, hit the brakes there, big fella.
Hey, but 4 out of the last 5, and they finally put somebody away early and often in this game.
Yeah, look, this is when you go back and just look at our season this year. We have not defensively stopped anybody under 10 points. Everyone has scored over 10 points. That was a hell of a game for our defense. When you look at the guy that we was considering trading, or he wanted a trade request in the Buda Baker, he just absolutely commands this defensive group to play at a higher level. Buda Baker had over 10 tackles, man, 2 for assists. But when you look at Collins, Luketa, Mr. White, and also Mr. Xavier Thomas, those 6 sacks were pretty special. Our defense came ready to play.
Well, on top of that, you look at Kyler Murray, pedestrian numbers, which is a good thing for Cardinal fans, that they don't have to have him stand on his head and do backflips in order to win these games.
That's the interesting part of watching this new offense and the development of Kyler and him and Drew deciding if this is going to be a shootout, passing the ball wise, or which part of our offense is actually going to show up. And our running game was pretty special the other day. Look, a little bit over 200 yards, that's surprising, but we know we had backs that had talent, speed, agility, and some toughness. We knew we had that in the preseason or on the roster, but to finally see it on display, that was a really good game and a really good kudos to our offensive line, because they opened up some holes and the guys actually made some really good runs.
Frank Sanders is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Frank, my question to you is about the Bears. They looked like just a sorry excuse for an NFL football team. And to be honest with you, I'm glad that the Cardinals took advantage of that and ran them into oblivion. What happens to a team after they lose a heartbreaker the way that they did against the Commanders, and then next weekend they show up and they're just pitiful?
You know what, Jimmy B, I've been on a couple of those teams. I have seen what that looks like.
Yeah.
We have seen what it has looked like as a Cardinal fan. And the only thing you can hope is that, that was a very, very tough loss. But it wasn't just a tough loss because the guy made a great throw. It was a tough loss because you really could look at, from the Bears' perspective, if the cornerback isn't out there jacking around and then he runs in and makes a play, that is more demoralizing as a team, because now your teammates are looking at you individually and saying, man, do you think this is a game? You take this for a joke? And then you have to try to overcome that on the road versus another good team that's got some talent on it. So the Bears are just in a situation where they got to figure it out. But I'm glad, like you, the Cardinals took advantage of them, and it was a good win for the Cardinals.
And the other thing, too, Frank, we talked a little bit earlier about how injuries neutralize a lot of teams, or becomes more of a fair game, so to speak. So Sweat was out, their top linebacker was out, and their top defensive back. Then you got a rookie quarterback that you can take advantage of. Talk about that dynamic, how that can neutralize a lot of these games, because you're seeing some upsets around the league, and you go, well, wait a second, so-and-so's out, this guy's out. How injuries befell a lot of teams in the National Football League.
Oh, that definitely plays a major part. In the NFL, it's one of those things where you can't always just easily say next man up, because you're paying Kyler Murray just a little bit over $45 million, and the guy that's behind him is making less than 10. So that just tells you there's a big discrepancy in the play of the next person to not just pay, but the playability of being able to transition from your superstar athletes to those that are trying to figure it out or coming off the bench. So injuries are a major part of the game. And of course you hope that you can kind of rotate in and out and get some guys to come in and make some plays. Offensively or defensively, the coaches got to make adjustments, but it's not easy when you're going into another team's layer and they're fully loaded and ready to go. Fortunately, the Cardinals came we were that team a couple of weeks ago with guys that were injured, and now we finally got guys that came off the injury list, and now we look like a team.
You know, Frank, you looked at Baron Browning
3.
being picked up, the outside linebacker from the Denver Broncos, a true pass rusher needed, because my feeling is you can't continue to win blitzing linebackers and safeties and on and on and on and make a living at that. It's all well and good now versus a rookie quarterback, but sooner or later you got to put a solid rush on, because these veteran quarterbacks or pretty good teams will start to take advantage of all these stunts and blitzes.
No, you're absolutely right, man. Look, the trade deadline is November 5th. That's tomorrow, which happens to also be the election day. So there's a lot of things that's transitioning in this moment right now. But our reality is that we need more linemen defensively, as exactly what you said. But we need at least another receiver that we can add to the fold, so we can take a little bit more pressure off Marvin Harrison. But going out and getting Barron, I'm excited about that. Hopefully he's healthy. They did say he had a foot injury and he's been out a little bit, but hopefully he comes in and he's healthy. You know how it is. Your foot might hurt in Denver, but when you come to the Cardinals, you might be healthy, just like our boy Devontae Adams was.
There you go. Hey, Frank, everybody always looks in the NFL anyway, after you've been on a winning streak, which the Cardinals are, they always look to the next opponent. So we know who that is. Your thoughts, and can you set us up a little bit how you see Sunday's game playing out with the Jets?
The mentality has to be that game that we just played is over, and that we now, we can see what kind of offense and team we have. Like, reality is that who you got coming in here, and they're a team that's hot. They're ready to try to get some wins on the board. They're struggling, but they have a defense. And so this right here is going to be a really, really good test for the Cardinals, emotionally, mentally, as well as physically, because their front four is probably one of the best front fours in the NFL. And those guys can really come out to with Quentin Williams on those and that crew. So emotionally right now, the guys need to be, kind of subtle and kind of build their emotions up to the week as they've done their preparation, mentally and emotionally. But when it comes to Sunday, it's balls to the wall, Jimmy B, and it's letting it hang out, letting it run, being physical, but also having that mindset that it's just the Jets. But it's a team that we can beat if we do the right things. If we go out and play our game the way we can play without turning the ball over, getting out the Aaron Rodgers like we've seen other teams be able to do, and create some turnovers, they can walk away with another W.
Frank, who do you like tonight, Bucks and Chiefs?
Oh, I'm definitely taking the Bucks without a doubt. Vegas is too slick right now, Rock. I got golf balls all over the valley that says Sanders 81. I've been losing those suckers so bad it don't make sense. I'm taking the underdog tonight.
Here's the thing, Jim. You'll appreciate this. We got him a Christmas gift. He got it about 2 weeks ago, from 2 years ago.
From 2 years ago,
yeah. They're the TP5s.
Okay.
And he had never played TP5s. But then when we played a little tournament together, these balls, they stuck. They stopped. And now he's hooked, right? But now you're telling me you're losing them all?
Yeah, no, I love the balls, but they just love me. They leave, man. They just don't. Let me do this. Publicly, let me say this. I apologize to anyone house I've hit. If you see the Sanders 81 golf balls out there, blame Rock. It's just, I'm still trying to figure them out.
Love you. Oh, that's good stuff. That's
the best,
Frank Sanders.
Frank. That's the best.
Follow him on X, Twitter, Frank Sanders 81, or just go to Legacy or Raven. You'll find one of his golf balls somewhere. Good stuff. That's Frank Sanders joining us here. We're out here at the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo, Chandler area, and he's brought to you today by our Twin Peaks fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Just text Peaks to 59925. You can do it every day to win the grand prize. Everything's up on our website at Rock and Minuch. Again, no purchase necessary. Just text Peaks to 59925. Gonna tell you what's on tap tonight.